Hey everybody, we're here with Stefaface. Alright, here's the deal.
Okay.
We started this earlier and we're having to restart it because I didn't hit record. So we're here with Stefaface looking at some of her art. Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, just FYI, the first day he called me mysterious. So
yeah, still mysterious, but less mysterious now because I've already gone through the interview. We're starting the first part.
Yes, but nonetheless, yes, Stefaface.
Yeah, mysterious Stefaface. Anti-dimension. And tell us what exactly it is. Okay. Tell us exactly what the anti-dimension stands for. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, after I started getting a lot of finished products and I was happy with it, I was like, oh my god, I need something to call me a alter ego, something, and and I don't know, one artist that I watched this documentary about, he did all this tagging around New York under this alias name, and then he went to this art show and he started tagging just like that, and they're like, oh my gosh, is that you? So I was like, I want a name, so that's what really, I was like, I need to put a name on it. Okay. So anyway, anti-dimension is embracing the dark and lightness of the world, and not being afraid to go into the darkness if you come out of it at some point, you kind of get up and dust yourself off and continue on your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then the dimension, my friend said it doesn't mean this, but I really do think it does. I looked it up, the definition. So I'm talking about depth.
Okay.
Because I found myself the happiest in life or feeling the most content when I have shown depth to someone.
Right.
Because you can, sense. I just really felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. And if I never gave them depth, then I wouldn't be here. So I've made great friends and I've met a lot of great people by showing depth.
Yeah, that's great. And that's great as an artist in general, but just as a person in general, because I agree that we're all, for me personally, it's like life is short. We're getting older all the time. None of us are getting younger, and things just keep happening. So if you got to reach out and find those sort of those meaningful things in life.
What you're living for, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As sort of just more than reaching for the clicker on the couch and changing the channel or whatever.
Oh my gosh, yes. Those people, I'm like, what do you do? How do you stimulate your mind, or how do you get any releases? I have to have something going on. I have to.
Yeah, you have to create, you have to be part of people's lives.
Makes me feel whole.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great way to put it. Well, we're going to take a look at some of your art here, and we're showing some of it on the screen right now. And we'll sort of ask you a little bit about some of these pieces and let the people get to know your style and things like that. And I think that would be a great idea.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, awesome.
I only do women because I'm a woman and I feel like everyone I do is a part of me, truly,
Okay, that's cool. And so when I was looking at your art, I've seen some of your stuff online, and now this is probably the first time I'm seeing it in person, if you will, or I'm seeing these canvases and things like that. Is some of your stuff physical, canvases like that, and then some of it you do completely digitally?
Yeah, so I'm just basically doing two techniques of collaging and hodgepodging, and I just love anything vintage. I've always loved vintage things from the past. I really try to stay away from women that have stigmas attached to them and that are well known, because that means that through society and just every day they get a wrong idea of them.
Okay.
Per se. So I kind of do like to go back to older women from the past.
Okay.
Because there's not a stigma, and you can really just look at them, and I feel like even the people that look at my art, you can really just look at that woman, and really take it as you see it. You can bond with my muse any way you want to.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. And sometimes there is that sort of thing. If it is vintage and it's not something that's, if it was Cardi B or something that we all might see out these days. And just
or like Pamela Anderson or Marilyn Monroe. You know, I completely dig her, you know, but she is kind of very overused, cliche. Like, in fact, sometimes that's one of my pet peeves going out to like the art shows and stuff is like, oh, there's another Marilyn Monroe, there's another Willie Nelson, there's another Elvis, you know. It's like, okay, great, that's cool, but I think it lends itself a little better to having a more obscure source, you know. And a lot of these feel more universal because of that. They're not so dialed into that one individual idoled person or whatever you want to say. Yeah, I feel like it's just more of a unique bond with what I've created, and you know, all of them are little parts of me. And when I get done with them, I'm like, oh my god, she's done. I refer to them as people and women, and I'm like, I'm gonna name them. They have names, and they are, you know, when I put all my prints in my folder, I'm like, I have so many lives and like so many parts of me just in here. Yeah,
that's cool. And how this is a more technical question, but how are you printing these? I mean, all these sort of shiny, nice little ones that look like that.
Yeah. So right now I'm not very too advanced in my printing techniques, but I'm very good friends at my local Walgreens.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So you just go down to the local store and get it done. And do you do them like one at a time, or do you have a few that you'll bring down there and just sort of put them out in batches and things like that?
Really, you know, I will make some, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to print this out. I want it to be physical. I want it to be tangible in my hands, because you know, I do feel like to some extent they also do come more to life when you print them out.
Yeah, totally.
In a way. You
know?
Yeah,
I absolutely get that.
But then also, like, I do, you know, wait for me to get a lot that I really dig, you know, because I have so many more, but I really do try to print off the ones that I am fully genuinely content myself with.
Yeah, and there's probably sometimes you'll have ones that you're just like, oh well, you know, it's okay, but I don't feel like it's fully developed to the point where I want to print it or something like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I save everything, you know, because you never know. I mean, I don't have any really like method to my madness when I create my anti-dimension, because it's just really who I am that day in that moment, you know. And so I feel like in life in general, it can be very repetitive in your feelings. So I can go back to something I didn't finish, and I'll be like, oh hey, that was me that day. I'm feeling very similar. That comforts me, and I can really just, you know, really create even more.
Okay, very cool. Let's see here. Now, I see. Is that Wesley Snipes? No. Actually, I know who that is, but I can't remember her name.
Yes.
From the 80s or something.
Yeah, that is Grace Jones, but you were not my only person that said that to me, so don't feel like that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I love her, and this is very cliche-ish, but I do love Andy Warhol. That was probably like my first artist that I really, growing up, I saw his stuff and really related to, and I was like, hey, who is this guy? You know, I want to check him out. So now I'm like checking him out, but doing his like techniques, and I am pretty sure that he maybe took this photo, but and then the background, that is lyrics to Sam Cooke song, A Change Is Coming.
Okay, very cool. And do you use lyrics quite often, or is it's a sometimes combination of lyrics and then sometimes it's more just expressive words that you're feeling and things like that?
I guess more in my physical stuff, I guess lyrics do come out more than my visual stuff, because I am really just in my garage and painting and listening to music. So whatever is feeding my soul and whatever sounds good to me, it doesn't even have to mean anything, you know, but I will write it. But lyrics definitely do mean something to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're very universal, so like anyone can read that and take it how you want to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And what now just this is more of a curiosity, this folder thing that you have here, the greenish thing. Now, is that what is that?
I guess you would say that is my briefcase for right now. That's what I carry my prints in, and you know, I just couldn't have a basic folder like that, so I had to write all over it, you know, and
interesting.
Yeah, she's anti-dimension and like Highway 95 or 93, and I'll just really just think about stuff out of thin air and just go with it. If it really pleases my mind, and just, you know, maybe somewhere like someone will get it, but
yeah,
I know they will, but you know, they won't.
That's true, and that's one of those humps that people have to get over with art, because I think maybe at first, you know, you're putting your stuff out there and, you know, you're not sure how people accept it and things like that, but it's definitely true that somewhere out there somebody's going to appreciate your art on some level.
Oh yeah, and you know, and to be honest with you, that's my audience. That's the audience that I need to reach, that are just gonna naturally vibe with my stuff, because I'm really just, you know, doing this for an outlet. I'm really putting myself on this canvas, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, that refers back to anti-dimension, that, you know, any way I feel when I create anything, we're all human beings, and someone can look at that and get comfort and know that they're not the only one in the world that feels ups and downs. Yeah,
this is true. And when you, well, I'm looking at this one over here because we haven't gotten to this one yet, but this one's pretty cool because you have sort of like a nice contrast there with like the black and white and the background and stuff like that, but it just makes the picture pop. It's almost like a I don't want to say 3D, but it sort of brings it out to the forefront, which is really cool.
Yeah, with that one I kind of just wanted her to be the main focus, because that's like Hedy Lamarr, and I just really love her.
Yeah.
And to me, I will know, like, I put her on that canvas, and it, like, she shows strength, and she empowers women, and she did a lot of things, so, you know, you can do anything you put your mind to, but, you know, anyone can look at that and take it the way they want to. And also, that's a quote from her in the behind her.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, what do you think it says?
Let's see. Is it written two ways? That's what I'm seeing right now. It looks like it's written forward and backward or upside down.
Yeah, I was just flipping that canvas around, you know, and just writing.
Moving the canvas around. Let me take a look here.
Yeah, and there's some glue on it as well. I wanted to add some texture.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sort of rippled around the edges.
Yeah.
With those lines. Very cool.
It's more of a complexity to it. And it's really weird. Anything like physical I do, painting or visual, I guess anything I do, everything I put down on it means something to me.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I have done some art stuff like this, but I personally got started way back in like the 90s doing like rave flyers and stuff. And I can remember like,
that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun, and it was probably a similar process, except for I pretty much did it all digitally, but I do remember like the first time when somebody had hired me and they put them all out there, and I was just like so amazed that they were out there in the world and that people were experiencing it. And I would like literally look at it and spend like hours just like looking over every single inch, like almost recording it in my brain, you know. And I wonder sometimes if you feel that way about your art, like if you're giving it to somebody or selling it or whatever you do, you think in your head a lot about like, somebody's out there.
What does the customer want, kind of?
Well, more like just the fact that somebody's brain is processing it.
Oh my gosh. So far, anything that they have not bought several from me, but, you know, I'm just starting off and I'm content with the amount I've sold, but it is a very humbling experience. And, you know, and it makes me want to continue, and it makes me just want to, like, even go deeper in my own mind when you do see appreciation and you do see people, you know, just drawn to it. Yeah, it's really great, you know.
And have you done any shows with these of any style or sort yet?
No, I have not. Wow. So
kind of amazing.
Yeah, I'm just so far. I guess I'm very lacking in promoting myself.
Okay. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I do need to get more on board with that. But right now, I feel like I'm just really just investing in it, so when it does come to the surface and I do get more exposure, then I am like, I'm ready to my heart's content, and this is what I've been working on, and hello.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, sort of amassing.
You can see all the depths from Anti-Dimension, you know?
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, because because I've gone to plenty of art shows, and I've seen, like we said, a lot of the cliche stuff, but a lot of unique stuff. And, you know, this will obviously fit right in with some very unique sort of show where, you know, people are coming and they literally buy the stuff right off of you. Like, you know, they'd be like, oh wow, I really love this. Like,
I know, and I'm a little bit very much of a homebody.
Yeah.
So I do not get out too much, and you know, and some of my collection right now, it's when I like kind of first started, so I didn't per se understand, you know, quality of photos that you're using and everything. So I really want to get more, as you see me progress in Anti-Dimension, you can really see me more focusing on a really good print, opposed to just, you know, kind of scattered ideas together, and I put them together, and I wasn't really thinking about how it's going to all come together, quality-wise, you know?
Yeah, you sort of have to build up to that.
Yeah.
I can see that with a lot of these, though. There's definitely some good quality, even from where I'm sitting, which I can't quite see everything, but hopefully on camera they can see a little more of some of this. I want to see this, though, because it keeps popping its head out of the corner.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you picked that up. And I do have to admit, I did apply to be in one art show, and I didn't get in, so I might be a little butthurt about that. So I really just want to...
Wow.
You know, come in swinging and see how the people are going to take it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you need to. And definitely, I think as an artist, part of it is getting yourself out there and, you know, getting to those points where you feel like you're okay, we can edit that part. Getting to the point where you're absolutely feeling the vibe of being able to be out there and being comfortable with it, and knowing that people are going to appreciate everything that you have, and you know, no holds barred, just going out and doing it. Because I think it's not only, it is a great thing and a cool thing to be an artist per se, but I also think there's a huge thing about making at least part of your living somehow as what your art is, because it sort of entwines, at least to me, it feels like it's all part of the same thing.
Well, you know, speaking of that, I do have my license in aesthetics, like skincare. I did go to school for that, trade school, 6 months, and I had my license in that. You know, I was in the job field, I applied for jobs and everything, and I got a waxing job, and 80% of it was going to be Brazilians, and I was training for a week, and I was going through the motions, you know, and I just remember we were watching Brazilians on the screen while we were eating lunch, right? And I was just like, you know, I would rather be in like a graphic design class, or I would rather know what a type of layer is going to do to a photo than this, you know? And so
I get you.
I finished my training the very last day. I already had an appointment scheduled the next day. I was like, I am so sorry, I cannot do this, you know, because I was like fighting myself. Like, I don't know. Like, I at least have to get maybe like an artistic job, but my art is not that I didn't want to re-enter to any shows or whatever, but I want to, when I do enter again, I want to be a better presentation of myself. Like, hey, this is Anti-Dimension, and you know what it is, and you know what you're going to get from it. You know?
Yeah, you have to sort of figure out the way you want to present everything and build that up. And I don't know if you would call that a brand, or if you would just call that a
it's a brand. It's a brand. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Oh, it's a real thing. Excuse me. But yeah.
Good. Well, and also, can you tell us? Okay, I see you have a little stack over here.
I do. Yeah, I have my prints everywhere I go with me.
Okay.
All of them.
And you just carry them around everywhere?
Yes, I do. Even to bars, to restaurants, Office Depot, anywhere.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So.
I was just like, can we see a couple?
Yeah. So I do. You know, I did kind of. They're all kind of similar in their coloring, so I did kind of just keep them all together.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure what's the best camera for this. It's probably that one. I don't know. That one's a little more closer up. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I love taking vintage things like the one you had previously. The actual real photo is like an LA Lakers playoff billboard.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so everything I do is very authentically. Like one time, my friend was like, "You should get that on a shirt. Is that authentic or like is that vintage?" Because I'm just, I want the real deal.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Let me scroll through a couple of these. See what I see in here.
Yeah, those are my reds.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of similar color palettes in this one.
Yeah.
But still a good variety of different dimension and sort of, well, obviously different models and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you got different fonts. I hesitate to use the word font because I'm sure sometimes, well, like if you're doing physical stuff, I guess they don't call it a font, but
I do have a pen that I use. I'm not sure what the name is but I will like write on my iPad sometimes.
Okay.
Or some of those are layers that I took from my sketchbook.
Oh, okay.
And I layered it on it, so.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so whatever really comes to my mind. That's No Thrill Frida.
Okay. Just chilling.
Yeah, and I love her.
Yeah, she was good in Coco. Have you seen Coco?
I have not.
It's really great. It just came out on Netflix, but there's some Frida is featured in there. It's pretty funny. Side note. Yeah. And then I just had these are more like blues, and it is kind of cool to see how all of them have came together because like I said, quality wise, there is a lot of time. Yeah.
Because I did go to school for that, and not for this, but for esthetician, like I was talking about earlier, but during that, I got an iPad.
Okay.
And then I started making flyers, promotional, event, whatever, yada, sale, whatever, for my Ogle school.
Oh,
and people really loved that.
That's cool. So they have been used in a fashion where they were used for a business's advertising, or at least showing what they do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I haven't, with those, I wasn't able to go fully my speed. I had to meet them halfway for a school and,
Right. Yeah. It's,
but, super fun. I think that's what really got me fueled.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whoa, I can make something and people actually see something cool in it, or like they value it. And
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of take that concept and really put my own twist on it in my own mind.
That makes sense. Yeah. And it really is a struggle and a battle. I've been there through most of my life because being a creative, and I do identify myself as an all-around creative, but focusing mostly on video for the last 10 years. But the reality is that, if you're an artist and you're trying to figure out a way to make a living doing it, it can really be a battle because you really want to just go all out and like put your stuff out there. But then if you are in an environment of a company which has managers and
regulations and what they want,
all these things, and then that really is a battle because you're trying to balance the fact that you have to hone your stuff into that, which there is a skill set that's great. I mean, you can get to a point where you can do both. I think I really do believe that you can get to a point where you could do both. You could have your day job that's working at an ad agency or something and doing stuff for magazines or online, but you could also still be able to fully do your art,
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I'm kind of doing that right now. I'm a server and an artist, but the dog. But
hey, go that way.
But
go Ian.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know what's going on. Oh, you're a server. You were talking about working and being an artist at the same time.
Yeah, but right now, I guess I am just creating stuff so I can be a full-time artist.
Okay. That's good.
That is my end goal, and that's what I already am, to be honest with you. You know, because deep down inside, I just know I am an artist.
Well, obviously, Zing.
Yeah. You know, I'm not too much of a like a God-given talent. Like, I can draw your face with a shadow on it and everything. Yeah. But, you know, I do believe in my eye. Yeah. You know, so I guess I'm not too worried about the job aspect of it. I would love to have an artistic job, but right now I am just doing me, and I'm full-blown anti-dimension and
putting it out there.
Nothing else.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the logo. We're gonna edit that in. Anti-dimension. Oh yeah. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but we'll see. We'll put it in later in editing.
We got That's something. Funny. Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Well, so tell us about anything. Well, you said you hadn't got any shows upcoming, but you do have some social media things that you can give us where people can look at your art and stuff like that.
Yes, I do. So my Instagram is Stefaface.
Okay.
And it is Stefaface.
That makes sense so far. Okay.
Yeah, and that is really my only platform right now. So.
Cool. Yeah, but you have a following there. You've got plenty of people that are seeing your work there, and
I know I'm doing like an interview. I know I'm doing an interview right now per se, but I am just. After I quit the waxing job, you know, because I was like, this is just not for me. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, Stephanie, you were going to spend some time alone. Yeah. You were going to start physically doing your art, and you were going to just go in different realms and different shadows and different corners of your mind and just bring it all out. Yeah. So, you know, I'm just kind of just daydreaming until that happens, but I do need to put more effort into it, but I'm just really full stream into creating right now.
That's good. That's good. Well, hey, that's good that you're at that stage, and you know that serves its purpose here because we appreciate having you on, and we know that having you here will help us all sort of share each other's stuff, our art, our existence to the people online that need to discover some of it. Yeah. And so I think we'll go ahead and call it a wrap for this show with Stefaface, and we'll put some of her art on the screen here so you can see it, and we'll put the URLs on the screen, the Instagram, things like that, and hopefully none of the stuff stopped recording. So thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you so much.
No problem.